Well, good morning, everyone. Best-selling and award-winning author Dr. Jeff Riggenbach here, and I'm so excited. After almost 4 years in the making, Disarming High-Conflict Personalities has finally arrived. Dealing with the 8 most difficult people in your life before they burn you out. And you know, we see all these cheesy memes on social media that say things like, take back your power. But the reality is that most people that post those things have zero idea of how to accomplish that. And the reality is most people end up doing one of two things. They just get rid of the person completely from their life, which sometimes is a good thing, albeit, but oftentimes has unintended consequences or hurts us in other areas of our life. Or number 2, they just continue with that person in their life and oftentimes continue relating with them in the same way until they eventually get the best of them and get the best of them and get the best of them, and they just drive them nuts, and eventually till it burns them out. I mean, burnout is such a huge problem in every area of our society today. Toxic workplace cultures are driving what is known now as the Great Resignation. Between April and September of last year, more than 24 million Americans just quit their jobs and left. And proportional numbers in Canada and other westernized countries did the same. Harvard Business Review, as recently as last week, published an article. It was actually a LinkedIn study that demonstrated that 94% of employees said that they would have actually stayed if their employer would have invested in their development. Investing in people, people development, people skills is still one of the most criminally underrated things that we can do to impact the world we live in and create a culture that people want to be a part of. In terms of workplace environments, I just can't tell you how many times corporations still underestimate the role that culture and being able to relate with people and employees and customers and management in a way that's more effective, the role that plays in employee satisfaction, in retention rates, and ultimately in the company's bottom line. 66% of teachers demonstrate some sign of burnout, and we now know that 3 to 5 years is the average length of time that an educator will stay at a new position once they take that position. Burnout related to people problems is the number one reason that leaders in the faith-based community resign from their positions of leadership in the church or other faith-based organization. We know that relational difficulties is the number one reason that good people leave boards or step down from committees where they're serving on and doing so many other people good, but they just can't deal with that difficult person, and ultimately they step out of the arena where they are serving others so well. So we know that burnout is a huge problem in multiple areas of life. So whether you are like this sort of match here on the end, I love this imagery, by the way. This imagery that we chose for the cover art because, a little tangent here, but sort of the first match here represents, it's an unlit match, and probably many of us sort of begin in a relatively healthy place, but we get that one person that kind of pushes our buttons and gets us all fired up, and then gradually, they kind of wear us down and burn us out until they become like this final match that's just lost all of its passion, all of its burn, all of its desire, is just completely burned out. So whether you are like this final match here and you're completely burned out, or whether you may recognize that you are somewhere in this process along the way and want to stop yourself, don't want to become like this final match, and you want to get to a healthier place in your life and with your relationships, this content was written specifically for you. Now, with a background from the clinical world of psychology, I incorporate what we know from cognitive science and the 18 specific beliefs that we know drive people's behavior, and I've merged it with the DISC model of personality and personality assessment to produce sort of a hybrid model to give you some very practical skills to work with the difficult people in your life. And we really take a sort of a broadly, there's a deeper dive in the book and in the coaching materials and in the training, but broadly we have a 3-step approach. And this information will help you, number one, get to know you, because our personality styles, how we naturally think, the beliefs that we have that fuel our autopilot thinking, as I call it in the book, determines how we come across to other people. So it will help us, number one, know us. Number two, it will help you to read other people more accurately and more quickly so that you can see these people coming and know what strategy to employ. And then number three, it will take into consideration who you are, who they are, and based upon that, number three, will help you develop a language to learn to talk in a way that other people in your life are guaranteed to not only hear you, but to actually really listen, and the difficult people to stop doing the things in your life that you don't want them to do, and get them to start doing the things in your life that you do want to do before you completely burn out. So, again, this has been a long time in the making. I'm so excited that this is available. Head on down to the link below. Click on that link to get more access, to get access to the content, and I can't wait to work with you in one way or another in this content to help you disarm the difficult people in your world. Can't wait to see you then. Can't wait to work with you. Hope our paths cross at some point down the road. I'm hoping to get back out and do my live events again here pretty quickly. But in the meantime, Godspeed.